Hello and welcome to ERUPT, the home for how businesses can scale and transform. Throughout this podcast, we aim to inspire and educate to help you and your business thrive. Across the course of our episodes, we'll be interviewing industry leaders to uncover some of the challenges across the world of work. We aim to give an insight into some of the fastest growing organisations across HR and technology. Please follow us on our journey to ERUPT and elevate your business. This episode is from our ERUPT Learning and Talent Conference, which was hosted in September 2022. The conference focused on topics from developing emotional intelligence to creating a transparent future career. Within this episode, Ben Kaminsky, who is founder and CEO of EVA.ai, discusses building your talent for the future and workforce planning. This conversation focused on how we use data beyond analysis and how to enable workforce intelligence. I hope you enjoy, and make sure you check out the Go ERUPT website for further content and for all videos on demand.
Workforce planning solved. It's a bold statement, but yeah, EVA is a, as you say, a talent automation platform. In its current shape and form, we are 5 years old. At its core, it's a conversational AI capable of engaging and nurturing both candidates and employees. And it's a machine learning capable of prediction and recommendation for human capital management use cases. As you can hear, I'm originally from France, and I'm very glad to be here with you, James.
Pleasure. So today we're just going to have a chat just about, what workforce planning is, how you think you've solved it. I think you've got a couple of slides as well, potentially just to talk us through, in terms of what EVA has been doing for some of your clients as well. Should we have a look at that?
Yeah, cool. Well, let's start with the definition of workforce planning. So it's the art and science of aligning HR, the strategy with the business strategy. So it's about managing the transformation and the change of the workforce to deliver on the organization plan. The technology today really help. We are living the fourth industrial revolution, and these artificial intelligence and automation technology that we group into HR 4.0 are really facilitating workforce planning. A couple of example. I mean, we work with both private and public organizations. So, for example, in the luxury sector, EVA is helping a French multinational with their sales workforce planning, understanding, and optimizing their teams. And another example, which we are very proud of, is we are helping the United Nations Development Program mapping their skill, capacity, and availability in 120 countries since COVID-19. And it is today continuously helping the UNDP deploying consultants and personnel, experts in more than 500 competencies to affected regions around the globe.
I mean, that is amazing.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about workforce planning now for a number of years, and every business I meet tends not to be doing it very well. So we've got a couple of slides here. Do you want to talk and share whilst we have a look at these?
Yeah.
Should we have a look, see what we've got?
Let's do it. So bold statement, workforce planning solved. At the end of this slide, I hope the audience will understand how to roll out an intelligent workforce planning. So really 5 stages. As you can see, data, technologies, what are the analytics needed, what are the algorithms, and the automation to make it happen. So we're going to talk about the data, technology, and analytics first. What's required to paint an accurate pictures for workforce planning. So here is the first thing is really for organization to leverage the wealth of internal data that they are sit on, and really consolidating all this data into a data warehouse, ready to be analyzed and leveraged. So here are a couple of important data to collect or to refresh. So obviously knowing your candidates and your employees, understanding their aspiration, their career goals, what are their current performances, building some quantitative data on top. And on the other side, the demand side, understanding the job data, the history, the current and the future vacancies, and as you're going to see later on, how to organize this data. Also important to mash up data from all the systems in use, from the HRIS, from the HRMS, and so on. And the idea is starting to analyze. So first, we need in workforce planning, we need to analyze both sides, the supply and demand. What's really important when analyzing the supply is taking into consideration all stakeholders, so employees, but also candidates, wannabe employees, and contractors. The idea is really to have an up-to-date view on the capacities, the capabilities, and the performance. And how do we do that? With technology such as self-service portal that would need to be accessible by employees, candidates, contractors to self-manage their profile. Second is to give them a sidekick. All those people needs to be engaged with a conversational AI, delivering personalized and nice experience via conversation. Is much better and more effective than forms. And this, obviously, at scale, we can collect and refresh all the data from people working in the organization. Also, in terms of tech, we need to display this data. So we need interactive reports. So, for example, here you see like a skill mapping and a proficiency mapping analytics. And to get to this report, we need user-friendly widgets to start to know the talent that you have in hand. So that's on the supply analysis. On the demand analysis, also there are a lot of tools, but specifically portals that are user-friendly to manage at scale the job request. Notify people participating into the workflow on their next best action, and making sure that the data is constantly refreshed to align the plan and scenario, and really personalize the data that you're collecting from intelligent forms. All these job requirements needs to be organized by initiative, by project, by deliverables, even by seasons. And it's important for us, I mean, what we see is like obviously workforce planning comes from the top, from leaders. But top down is not enough to have a complete accurate picture. We need also like from the ground up, a bottom up approach. And getting all this data from the ground up, like vacancies, time per output, the work type, contract type, the skill, the seniority that needs to accomplish the plan.
So Ben, we've got the data, right, for demand and supply. Tell me a little bit about like what does EVA do that's what does technology do that's like able to utilize this? You know, what
exactly.
Where's tech going?
So look, with this data collected via the conversational AI or via user-friendly user experience, then the idea is like leverage predictions and machine learning to do an analysis on the gaps and the trends. So analyzing trends, the skill capacity in relations of like moving availabilities, understanding the proficiency needed in the job requirements versus what you currently have or you may have in the future, to understand what you may have.
Does it, Ben?
Sorry?
This is what EVA does.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Correct. So calculating the time to hire, to understand in the future how fast you can get the resources. So understanding your internal recruitment momentum or the ability to hire. So this you need to source job market data and understanding if it's going to be difficult to source for this job in the market that you are targeting. All this wealth of data are analyzed into the knowledge base, obviously, of EVA, and then can be leveraged for the HR to have forecasting analytics. So here you can see some gaps and trends analysis. Here you can see some analytics based on goals. So have we achieved the goal?
That data is taken straight off in EVA platform. That's how it would look, is it?
Correct. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
That's our analytics. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and it's very important to be goal oriented when in terms of workforce planning, to understand whether is the initiative or the department fulfilled the goal in terms of supply versus the demand. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting for me is that I think, people analytics has been a bigger and bigger thing over the last sort of 5-10 years. People get how important it is, but obviously the next step is to be able to interpret the data. If I'm seeing technology like yours that can show me that, even me with my limited interpretation skills can probably work out trends pretty quickly.
Correct. So that's a very good transition, James. Essentially, how do you use data beyond the analysis, and really enable workforce intelligence? And this is where also the technology the technologies like EVA help, is really using algorithms to cluster personas. So I'm going to give some example. Once you have all this data and you have this analytics, you are capable with AI-based algorithm to surface the talent with in-demand skills, highly in-demand skills, or that fits budget salary ranges, or that will diversify your team structure. This is currently capable, this is feasible, and we have tested it. Or matching the talent with the jobs and future missions, based on dates, based on proficiency skills, based on work type, and this needs to be immediate. Now, another layer of algorithm on top is predicting the talent, for example, that are likely to churn or to have a long tenure. And this really helps workforce planning to understand who could churn and who is going to stay a long time. Or, for example, identifying the people that should be promoted for succession planning. And this will help in retention. And this will also help to stick on the plan.
Okay, a couple of questions, Ben. This looks like proper AI. A lot of people have been talking about AI for years, but looks like you've got a tech that actually clusters everything together, creates algorithms, which is amazing. But how do you get people to have that data ready, or can you scrape any data and make that into AI? Because that's obviously your tech is only as good as the people that put the data in. You've got to have the data there. So is that an issue, or is that solved?
So, well, first of all, we have a EVA bot, which is also really helpful collecting this data in a structured way, so that then it's available for as food for thought, food for AI algorithms. But then all the EVA was structured to collect and structure data to fill those machine learning and predictive models. And once you have those predictive models, then in one click you can surface and cluster the people that you want to engage or pipeline into talent acquisition or talent management strategies. So you can say, okay, give me all the people that has the lowest churn probability, for example, and then you can engage them at scale. And again, from EVA itself.
Okay, amazing. So you said you're using this with the UN, for example. Does it have to be a large organization to make this work? How big's the UN? What sort of use case are they using your tech for?
So yeah, you need to have a reasonable, sizable organization or a reasonable increasing candidates databases. this is where like the return on investment really is like phenomenal. Now the UN, for example, once we got the data, they are leveraging us to create automated process. This automated process are here to nudge the organization toward the plan of the organization. And here I give a couple of examples of pre-configured automation that exists in EVA and that can be leveraged for workforce planning. So talent lead engagement, planning, interviews, and multi-stakeholder scoring, or hiring entry level, then to onboard and then develop long-term skills. Cool. Those are like the talent acquisition strategy for like a workforce planning. Also talent management.
Yeah, this is really interesting, Ben, because earlier we were talking about how, businesses need to map potential into the future to be able to make sure that employees aren't just here for today's role, but can move laterally within an organization, move up into different sort of areas. So are you saying that technologies like yours are now able to do that?
Yes, correct. So the idea, once you have the data, the algorithm can be shaped, for example, to recommend learning and development material to upskill or based on the organization current and future needs, right? You can like easily bring short-term contractors for fixed-term projects. You can reskill the people that should be made redundant. Again, clustering, automation, automation of communication, automation in pipelining people. That's the whole beauty of using HR 4.0.
Amazing. That is amazing. So basically, workforce planning is solved. Technology now can map potential. If you've got people ready to sort of interpret this data within your business, the tech is there to be able to do the sorts of things you've talked about.
Exactly. 5 steps: supply and demand data, HR 4.0 tech, gap and trend analytics, clustering algorithm, and automation for talent acquisition and talent management.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. What's the next? So you as sort of somebody who runs a technology business, what's the next step then? Where's technology going to evolve into next 10 years? Where do you see it?
Well, there is a lot of work on voice analysis for well-being. We have like actually a new partner doing just that. So analyzing the voice, understanding and it's like it's based on the tone, not on the language. So it's like it can be done in any languages. It's about like understanding a bit the big 5 personality, how extrovert, or if I'm happy, or so this kind of data will really help actually organization. I really believe in that. Yeah, and obviously VR, but we'll see EVA in a virtual reality maybe in 2 years.
What's the biggest challenge, would you say, about how technology can be implemented into a business to make sure it's being used or getting the most out of it?
So the phases before the deployment is very important, and also getting the stakeholders involved from day one.
Stakeholder engagement, yeah.
Yeah, at the very, very beginning.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
This podcast was brought to you by ERUPT at Annapurna, the #1 platform that case studies the organisations that not only disrupt, but those that erupt. Please visit our new Go ERUPT website for more content and log in to watch the full episodes from the conference. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Make sure to watch out for the next.